welcome to game number 11 of the Elf Union run. Our professional elves are looking very profesh. They've got a Wrestle Frenzy catcher, a Blodge catcher, a Sure Hands Dodge catcher, and some other stuff. I've just realised that I haven't got these in a clear order, which is upsetting to me. We need still to get Dodge on Collie. We would have got Dodge on Collie, but we random to Strength skill, which definitely was not silly. We're up against some orcs. They look like some pretty meaty orcs. They've got 5 guard and 4 mighty blow, and they've got a stand firm and an armbar, which I'm assuming is random. They've got a very good thrower with edge 2+, and leaders. They're going to have 4 rerolls. This looks very tough. However, we have got exactly the right amount of cash for a wizard, at least. So let's take that and hope we can do something with it. I have been busy because I had a wedding to plan to attend. There has been some stuff to do around the wedding, to be fair. There has been some preparation stuff to do, despite it not being my wedding. They didn't have any tackle, did they? A lot of mighty blow. Oh, they have got 1 tackle. Tackle, but not on the mighty blow. Okay. Yeah, something like that, I guess. Seems okay. It's a pricey game for 3. It is. I mean, I think if you depends how you frame it. I think if you frame it as like a, to be fair, I don't know. I was very generously donated the game, so I shouldn't say anything. But I think as a game, it is expensive for a game, but it's kind of the same cost as like a night at the movies or whatever. And I think it's as fun. I would say more than most movies, but then I just don't go to the cinema, so I don't know why I've made that comparison. I've been to the cinema once since the pandemic, and it was to go and see the Barbie movie, which I got given a free ticket for. So but it is fun. Yeah, you could wait and see if it's a sale. I think it's just like a small game developer. I think it's just like a small game developer randomly made it, so it hasn't got like a big budget behind it. I do really think you'd enjoy it that much. Whether it's worth the money or not, that's harder to answer, but solid defense. This is where I wish I had a tree man. You can sometimes stick a tree man somewhere useful. Don't think there's really that much I can do with this. Balls come this way, which is the way they wanted it to come. I guess we just move our line across a little bit. Where's the tackle piece? All the way back here. Interesting. 4, 5, 6, I guess. Alright, let's try that. Didn't really do much, but it just moves us to the side where the ball is a bit. Yeah, exactly. You don't get it until you get back home with it. So, fingers crossed between now and then it might go on sale or something. I'm very suspicious of this game. I mean, on the one hand, I do think it'll be really fun. On the other hand, I think you're completely right to be suspicious of it. So, so both of those things can be true in my head. It's a very strange game. I can't stress enough, it's a very strange game. People were asking me repeatedly when they came into the stream what the game was, and I was having a very hard time explaining it to them, even after having played it for 3 hours or whatever it was. Oh wow, gets a reroll right away, and 1 in 81's it. Not the worst 1 in 81 because they have block, but it does mean they don't get to knock us down. The game is Thank Goodness You're Here, Coach Daddy. Does Giraffe play? Giraffe? Blood Bowl? Like, Giraffe definitely plays Blood Bowl. She's an awesome Blood Bowl streamer. You should check it out. Oh, yeah, no, we were talking about Thank Goodness You're Here, which is a game I was playing on stream the other day. Giraffe is part of my Blood Bowl team for the Year Open. I say my team, our team. We're perhaps responsible for a reduction in giraffe streams because we've tempted to come over to England like 3 times in quick succession from America. Yeah. Basically, Giraffe foolishly got addicted to Blood Bowl, and now she spends all of her time and money travelling to play Blood Bowl. I mean, what sort of person would do that? I would never. Do you know, I was wondering, like, what are they doing bringing the ball way back here? And I just had genuinely completely forgotten we had the wizard. I would have remembered at some point because it reminds you like that. But yeah, I'd completely forgotten there for a minute. We could frog this. Frogging this here would actually be hilarious if it worked. Like on a 3+, I think a frog here makes an absolute nightmare for them. But the problem is if you roll it and don't get that 3+, you've wasted your wizard on turn 1. And I think that's probably not the right thing to do. But a successful frogging there would be very, very good. Can we base here? We can base here. Okay, we're going to base with that one then. That's going to be the play. We should definitely dodge this first. This one's a bit hard because it's not dodge skill, but this one definitely should dodge first. No reason not to. Nice. I'd like to do that. Wish there was a way to get this through, but I don't think there is. We could like do a really rowdy jump over 4+, 3+, but that's a bit mad. I mean, maybe at the end. Maybe even now. I think we do this first. Really nice attack that. But I think not. Damn it! Oh well. Oh well. Maybe I should do the other thing first. I mean, complete confirmation bias off the dice, but if we'd done that, we would have had dodge skill. Could have sealed this screen. Then gone for that at the end. Maybe, maybe. Thanks, Giraffe. Have an awesome day. Enjoy your holes. Your last bit of pre-UKTC holiday. The last bit of holiday before Blood Bowl makes it sad. Blood Bowl won't make it sad. Blood Bowl will be awesome. Oh wow, we are not blitzing the ball carrier free. Of course, because the ball carrier is Agi 2+. I forgot that this is an Agi 2+ orc, which did make some of the other stuff a bit less relevant. But okay, still. I forgot, even though it's showing right there on the screen, that this is an orc that can dodge on a 2+. Still, it could snake. We live in hope. They could block. I think that's rowdy to block, but they could. Ones are a thing. I've heard this. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I've heard it. I've heard it rumoured that ones sometimes happen. Definitely not to vampire teams anyway. Unless I'm playing them, and then they happen a lot. This is looking more and more like they're going to block and not dodge. Which feels to me like a risky choice. Because if you don't break armor, then that piece can get up and one dice you at the worst. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are going to dodge. They just were covering it with that extra player. Just use dice, don't have any ones on them. The thing is, like, if someone really wanted to do that at a Blood Bowl tournament, they'd probably get away with it. Like, because as long as you're switching dice up, like, who's going to check your dice? It's a Blood Bowl tournament. Be a bit sad, though. I've never seen that specifically, but I've heard of people pre-arranging dice and slamming the dice cup over them, rolling blitzes every kickoff. Oh my god. This is a pretty tempting fireball. But is it actually a good fireball? It's tempting because there's 5 orcs underneath it. But how good is our recovery on it? At the top we'd need to get down both of them, really. At the bottom we need to get down. You kind of need to get down 2 for it to be good. The thing is, though, it feels like it's an interesting one because their team's really spread out right now. So if this goes well, you really can punish it. Ah, gonna be greedy and regret it. Got the ball down. It's pretty good, I reckon. It's pretty good. Could always be better, but it's pretty good. Thank you for the raid, Electric Vision. How was your stream today? Hope you're doing great. Put you in here. It's a rush, but it's the best push direction. This way we'd be going 2 into 1 at the moment. We could change that though, couldn't we? We could change that. One more dodge was off tackle. This one I want to keep free because it's our best recovery piece. It's just got to be you. Okay, well we've got another 2 dice at least. Do we scatter again? No, I think we wrestle. Like we've got to do a 3+, but we have a piece with sure hands for it. And then do we come here and hand off to you because you're in the middle of the cage? I think that's probably the play. That's probably the play. So, hand off. Good. Don't do it. They did it. Well, poo. That's probably killed our defense because the wizard's gone now and the ball is very gettable for the orcs. There's always this thing after that. You're like, well, I could have stood these up, but I didn't want to stand these up. I wanted to dodge them here, right? So you get here, hand off, and then you close the cage and you've got the ball completely safe. Like,
Boo.
with that hand off and then one more dodge, the ball is like completely in a cage. Oh well. That's a shame. That's a shame. I think it was the right choice, but maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Never get elves up next to something that can punch them. I mean, in general, that's my approach. Evie feels the pain. How was your stream today, Evie? All right, some highs and lows. Elven Union being Elven Union at times. We've had some fun this stream. We threw a pass with a blitzer because blitzers can throw on a 3+ over a couple of orcs into the hands of a double marked player who caught it with nerves of steel. So we've done the good side of Elf Union as well. They kind of need the knockdown here, or it's a hard pickup. So that's pretty nice. They've got the 4+ pickup now. No more hits on that. Yeah, but I've talked about this on this run a few times. There's not really good matchups for Elf Union in ladder. There's not really like matchups you look at and think, oh, that's a great Elf Union matchup. Yeah, could have gone for the score. It did cross my mind, but I was thinking we didn't need to. I felt like with just the 1 3+ and some 2s, like we could have made a pretty safe position, but I could see the argument because you're going to get mobbed by orcs afterwards with a lot of guard and strength. So, and like having the ball on alignment is not ideal. The good thing is the lineman could have handed off in several directions to a player with nerves of steel, but yeah, I can definitely see what you're thinking on the go for the score as well. I had the good side, but opponent conceded, and when it went a bit pear-shaped, it went very pear-shaped. Yeah, I think that is very often. Wow, double skull, and they have to eat it because they already used 2 rerolls. I feel like they had 4 rerolls to start the drive because the leader. Okay, all right. This is now a mess, and the guard is a problem, but there are possibilities, and we like possibilities. I'm going to stand up one player on that one, even though I don't want to. Stand firm here is a shame, otherwise it could have chain pushed. So I think we probably want to hit this. Hit this and scatter, or even don't scatter. Go for the 3+. Dodge 3+ pickup. Has this got guard? Oh, that doesn't have guard. Okay. I think then we're going to bring you into here and see if we can get lucky powering this. We cannot. Okay, fine. It was worth a go. I don't want to try again with you because you actually... Well, maybe I do try again with you now. Oh, you can't because obviously you can't. Alright, well. Just got to do the things, I guess. This is 1-3 plus dodge. It's not off tackle, so I think probably we are going for the blitz for you, aren't we? So we can save ourselves 1-2 plus here. Alright, we're scattering and seeing what happens. Okay, that's not the worst. That's definitely not the worst. And then go stand over here and hope nothing powers us. I don't know what else to do. Where could we go? Maybe backwards, I guess. Yeah, I guess backwards. I guess backwards is the way. This is awful, but I'm going to stand that up as well. Because it's not getting out of there. Is it definitely backwards? Like if I go here, we could get out of that range of that one. I mean, they're not going to free that up, are they? They could just dodge twice for 2 dice, though. I kind of like it more than going forwards, though. More than going backwards, though. Going backwards just feels like we get ourselves in longer-term trouble. Short-term better, longer-term worse. Shoot on this first. Okay. And now we hope. Now we hope. Yeah, the Shohan's dodge piece is... I mean, the dodge is already doing some work, right? Like, I'm definitely glad we went with dodge on that player. It's exactly the reasoning that we thought for it. Like, you get a piece that can get into those spots and get out with the ball. Were you here, Astrator? Because, yeah, that was a discussion point after the last game, was whether or not we were going to take a skill on it. And I said I wanted dodge. And I think it has been a choice that has paid in this game for sure. Yeah, we had to talk about it. That is not a POW. It's a 3 dice. Are they going to think about re-rolling it to free up their blitzer? I don't think you can. I think you're probably better off just to trust the dodge, but... Oh, the problem is... I know you... No, because you can push it that way. I understand why you would want to re-roll this. Because, obviously, like, getting the POW is a very good outcome. But you've still got, like, the same as you did before. 2 3 pluses to get 2 dice on the ball here. Oh, you don't if you push that way? What was that push? Now you can only get a 1 dice. Well, I guess you could do 3 2 2 for a 2 dice. I assumed they were going to give themselves the option to dodge out both, although dodging twice is obviously scary on Edge 3 plus. Dodge is cool and all, but imagine how amazing a randoming elf's armbar would be. Be pretty good. They're going to chain push here? The thing is you'd have to dodge to get the chain push. Like, because you could POW here and get a chain push, but you'd have to dodge and then roll a POW on a blodge anyway. Is there a is there a chain push here? Who took the hit? This one? So it has got tackle. I don't really know. go with that. Maybe there was a chain push here though. I haven't gone for. That's really bad. That I don't think you should have taken, because now you're blocking your own way to get to the ball. I mean, it's really bad, but not for me. Like, really bad for my opponent. 1, 2, 3. I guess it doesn't make that much difference. You can still get there. It reduces your movement for the recovery, though. I had a random sure hands dancer. It was amazing for recovery after the other dance got at least. Yeah, like sure hands, like again for like a random skill as well for 10k has its definite place. Okay, so they made the dodge. 1 dice on the ball, gets the full pow because it's Blood Bowl. What else was going to happen? Doesn't get the armor break though. That's good. Has to rush to pick up, and I don't really see what you're going to do with it once you got it. They have got it though. And sadly, our wrestle piece probably is not going to be the one we get to go for the sack with. So they might get away with it. They might. Block is a good skill. All we've got left is rushes here, 1 dice or dodge here, and 2 dice or dodge here. So we're going for a dodge here, 2 rerolls. Eats it and gets KO'd. Do you know what's best about this is there a chance it could free up our wrestler? 2 of those
like
are
a fucking read the android's memory.
Boobies. So boobies. 3. No. Okay. Well, we tried. There it is. Don't actually want you to catch it. I want it to stay free so that you can get it. Like that. How'd you like my handoff, guys? How'd you like my easy elf handoff? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we'll go here. Is there any world where we're stalling here? Because we can dodge that, and we could get that into there. Like, it's not the world's worst stall.
I should probably say something meaningful to all our Cabal Vision viewers. I can think of as splash.
So now we could dodge that as well. Problem is, we are down to our last reroll. So if we fail the next dodge, then we'd have to spend a reroll on it. And could snake. Or we could just get ourselves in a position where next turn we wish we had that reroll. On the other hand, again, many, many hands. There are only tackle pieces here. There. There. This feels like a thing I regret. This feels like a decision I regret. Let's just see. You need some context behind the Foghorn sound clip. It's a game called Detroit Become Human, which I played on stream. And do you know what? I started to explain it, and I'm like, actually, I still don't know why I said that. I know that there was we were playing Detroit Become Human, which was amazing. And at some point I said that. I mean, I have a feeling I know which scene it was in Detroit Become Human when I said it, but I still don't know why I said it. You said sound the booby on. It does sound like a thing you would say. It's like a foghorn, but it says boobies. Boobies. I'm sure there was good reason. And the reason is that I have excellent mods. Just to remind everyone, Cauliflower doing her first stream this weekend. I'm just going to keep saying it, it'll become true. Oh wow, it's a rowdy dodge. Oh, it's a 2+ dodge because it's a 2+ dodging orc, I keep forgetting. That is not a normal orc. Right, but what I heard, Collie, was that you were going to get one of your guests to help you see how Streamlabs work. That was what you told us. That you had invited guests as part of your hosting who could help you to do your streaming. Psha. Psha, that's what I say to this. Sudden changing of the story. Oh, big dodge. If that had worked, that would have made my life a lot harder. We will wrestle you down. I had a plan there, but I think that stops it from working, because if it had been a power, I could have brought that in to be an assist, so I think we do just do the 2 dodges here. Select Blitz, click U. There we go. Oh my god, this might be the best stall ever. If this stall leads to a dead thrower. Oh boy, dead or strength bust on your Agi 2+ thrower. That is a bummer. Like, my opponent will be bummed, and I do feel bad for them on that, because that is a fun orc. But yeah, the stall just a little bit rewarded there with the not only getting an extra turn, but just casually killing an orc thrower. Can't get much more rewarded than that. We are still down 1 blitzer. I think we'll stick with that formation though. You don't feel bad. No, I genuinely do. I'm happy it's out for the game, but like, I'm not like, I know lots of people feel differently to me with this in Blood Bowl, but like, it's never been the thing that I enjoy, breaking someone else's toys, right? Like, for the sake of winning this game, I'm very happy it's not coming back. But like, am I happy that my opponent doesn't get to use their fun orc? No, like that's not where I get my fun. Yeah, lost strength. I mean, they could keep it as a strength 2 thrower, but it's definitely worse. Like, even like, though it's not mostly for bashing, like that's a piece that wants to be that wants to be safer when it does get hit, right? So like having strength 2 makes it more vulnerable. Just build another one. I mean, you can try to build another one. The problem is that agility is one of the stats that isn't like super likely to roll. Like you have to roll a d16 every time you try for a stat up, and movement is very likely. Agility, I feel like, is something like 3 out of 16 maybe, or it's around that level of chance. Like on the d16, 3 results let you choose agility. I think because maybe there's like 2 that let you choose agility, and then there's 1 that lets you choose any stat. Astrotaurus' agility is 1 out of 4. Okay, you might be right. Hey Mordred, by the way. Hey everyone, there's lots of people who've come in and I haven't said hey to. I haven't said hey to you. Hey. If you hadn't killed it, someone else will. Don't feel bad. I like that animation. I think my opponent is probably quite justifiably thinking, how have I got a dead orc and a KO'd orc, and she's only got 1 KO'd blitzer. Like, we've definitely been lucky not to have had more damage here, because we have, like, engaged fully as well. Oh wow, goes to the foul and rolls a 1. And gets an armor break on it as well. That is a tough deal for my opponent. 3 turns. I think the first thing we need to do is just make sure we've got a good screen. Because orcs are faster than they used to be. But they're still not fast, are they? So let's get all in front of this. Pop you here. Lovely. I had a great time banging up some orcs. Collie did. One of the mummies on Collie's team is named after me, and I woke up to tales of destruction that I had wreaked. Imagine having a 5-stat player in the old 2016 rules where you need to roll 10 plus on the skill up. Yeah. Pretty insane. It would be fun to have, like, that would be a fun stream project one time to, I don't know what team you do it with. What would be the best player? If you were going to take one player in Blood Bowl, 2020 rules, and not give it any skills, only stats, what would it be? Probably a war dancer, I guess, because you've already started with Blodge. I was just thinking it'd be fun to have, like, a project player where you just literally do not take anything except for stats on them. Probably a war dancer, because you can save up the SVP on it reasonably quickly compared to other players, and actually, like, you could make it pretty good. The only problem is you might run out of stats to give it if you don't roll the good ones, because you can only put 1 extra movement on. And if you don't, they're not in scoring range, are they? No. Yeah, but in theory, like, double strength, double agility, movement, armor up sounds pretty good. You can't take the second movement up, though, Jock. You can only take 1, so you're going to need to roll the other ones at some point, otherwise I assume you just can't take them. So the ball is hittable on a 1 dice. I feel like there's definitely serfs on here. With the frenzy. I mean, that one's definitely surf, but that's probably the easiest one. Whether it's the best one, different question, but should we just go for the easiest one? Push ourselves to here. Push again. The problem is the second hit's going to be a uphill. hang on, it's turn 7. First thing, let's give ourselves a scoring threat. I don't know, I think I could get lost in a puzzle of serves here and then fail to suss it out and do something stupid. So let's just punch things. And then try for a 1 dice wrestle hit that might give us a chance to score. Nice pout. Okay. Not too bad, hey? Position this behind so we've got free for recovery. Stand that up. I was going to hit this, but now I think it makes more sense to have a second scoring threat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Ghoul could be good. Yeah, Ghoul could be very, very good because you could take double movement on the Ghoul. Double movement, double out. Oh, that's what Jog was responding to. Yeah, yeah. Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. But yeah, Ghoul sounds pretty good actually. I think manipulating your TV for matchmaking a second recipe on match will be a decent strategy in this rule set. Yeah, it's not a thing that like it's not a thing that I've gone for because so last season some of you saw the team when it was in Chalice. I had like one off-stream project team with Wood Elves to see if I could random my way to a better team, and I could, but it took me an absurd number of games to get it where I wanted to. So I basically said I'm not doing that again. I think that there are definitely some good strategies if you want to just grind this ladder and play a crazy number of games. And I think what you're suggesting probably is another one where like you just don't take your levels, like find the TV sweet spot for your team and just stay at that level for as long as you can, building up the SPP, and then you can get the actual levels later. I'm curious how good a Wood Elf team would be if you just took 2+ AVs on 10 elves. Yeah. Yeah, right? Like 90k, movement 7, agility 2+, armor 10+ alignment. Well, this was a conversation we had way earlier in the stream. I had this a few hours ago. I was saying with pro elves, I've been randoming general on them, but actually would the best strategy for pro elves be to not take any skills on the alignment at all and just save and see if you can get any of them to armor up, right? Because having 3 players that could go on the line with just having 3 players who could stand on the line with AV 10+ would upgrade pro elves a heap, right? Like it's one of the worst parts of the game for pro elves is just the line scrimmage. So even just getting 3 of them would be pretty huge. I don't know the Carla things, so that's a new animation for me. I hadn't seen that one before. Oh, there's dodge there. So we want to punch from this way and we can do a nice chain off. Stand you up. Push that out of the way, that's fine. Still got to do a dodge. I think that's the right thing to do. Get that there. Blitz from here, that pushes that off. And then you can just pick up. that does not form a box, because that's not a player, that's the ball. I'm an idiot. For some reason I was like, yeah, now we've got our box. That's not a player, that's the ball. Oh well, we'll just push into the ball. Don't want to follow because I don't want to catch it. Okay, let's just murder an orc. I think my opponent has good reasons to feel hard done by here. Like, I think that's quite fair. Okay, so we got the scatter catch. We have blitz, so we don't want to do a pass. So yeah, it's just gonna be 2 dodges to try and hand off to you. It's the best we're gonna get. Could go to the blitzer instead, but it doesn't have a catch, so this is the safer one. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a dicing now. Opponent conceded. Has that touchdown registered? Looks like the touchdown is registered, which is nice. So nice of our opponent if they intended to let us have the touchdown before they conceded. Either way, I understand the concession. Like, yeah, tough deal for my opponent. Like, the second half was not going to be pretty for them, was it? They were down minimum 2 orcs. And yeah, it looks like it's counted. I'm generally not like, I know some people are very anti-concessions. I think, do you know what? Like, sometimes you're just not having a good time, and this game is really long. So if people want to concede, sometimes let them concede. But I'm glad we got a touchdown because it has taken Freezing Star, who I was thinking to give them sidestep next. But now with that extra SPP, maybe we just hang on and get them to 24 and try to get that movement up. Because we're going to want the 1-turner. And if we don't do it now, it will be a long wait. So maybe we hold tight and don't take sidestep, even though I wouldn't mind sidestep either. Like, sidestep also helps for a 1-turn, but I just think the movement up, or hey, if we roll agility up, we'll take that too. I think with it being just 3 touchdowns away now, I think I'd rather hold on. So yeah, we're going to hold tight on Freezing Star. We are going to random a second time on Furion, and if it's not great, because we just got extra cash from the concede. Pro. Strip Ball Pro. I'm no longer sure that's worth it for 80,000. We haven't used Strip Ball on it even once, is the reality. Like, it's not an awful skill. Like, in theory, like, you might get some use out of it, but in practice, I haven't used that even once. They've had it for a few games. Pro, it's not awful. Like, it kind of gives you almost dodge skill in some situations where you want to dodge, but effectively now paying for a regular skill, I'm not sure that combination is worth it. And given we've got 230,000, I think we'll just fire and rehire Furion. Yeah, pro is pseudo dodge. Sometimes it does the thing. Thanks for the follow, Pistafa. So yeah, nothing else we can take off of that game. The only annoying thing about a concede, especially one that's like half a length like that, is it doesn't make such a good length video to upload for YouTube. And I've been learning all sorts of things about the algorithm on YouTube from people who know more than me, saying it's not good to do things that disrupt the algorithm, but I'm a bit of a completionist. I feel like if you're uploading games for the run, you don't want to have any missing. Which is a bit annoying. Never get any value out of strip. As soon as I get it, I go against teams that only ever have the ball on a sure hands player. Yeah, that definitely is a tricky part of the decision with strip ball. Strip ball, I think, in strip ball in NAF style tournaments is definitely good, because a lot of teams don't start with sure hands, and very few of the teams that don't start with sure hands can justify putting it on something. Like, it's normally too much of a luxury skill, so you just don't see it that often. In ladder, by the time on most teams you can put strip ball on a player where it's good, like a player that's got dodge maybe and can get places and do things, a lot of the ball carriers are going to have sure hands. Now, I don't think strip ball loses its value completely. I think that's like an interesting thing in leagues, because drives very rarely go exactly as the offense wants it to, right? And so messy things happen and the ball gets sacked, or it ends up getting handed to a different player. And so you get more opportunities to use it than I think you imagine you would sometimes. I think it's one of those things that can surprise you. But I also definitely understand like the feeling you have, because I have that same feeling with it. And I don't, honestly, like even on my Wood Elf teams, which is one of the teams that uses it best because it goes really well on the War Dancer, I don't prioritize strip ball anymore. I used to in the old rule set, and I've just found in this rule set it's not doing enough for me. It doesn't mean it's like a never say never, right? Like, I'm not saying I would never take it, and definitely for like a random on a War Dancer I would be very happy with it, but I feel like it does less than it used to for me. To reduce the frustration of randoming, what do you think of, for instance, choose your skills for every positional but one who's on a randoming journey and can be cycled? What's the question? Is the question for me as a streamer, or is the question for like what's the best optimum thing to do, or is the question for should we make it a rule that you can only do this? Because I don't mind, like for me on my team, like I'm pretty comfortable with the way I pick my spots, I think, on randoming. So like I think randoming on the lineman makes sense, and I think once you've got a few positionals up and running on Pro Elves anyway, it changes from team to team, but I think on Pro Elves, get the first couple of positionals up and running, and then you could probably afford to do a bit more randoming on the other ones, because at least you've got like a core that works. But yeah, it really just depends what you want out of it. Like what you're describing is kind of fun as like a method for like having a fun theme to a team, which I in general think is like a good healthy way to play Blood Bowl and enjoy it. So I definitely think like what you're suggesting could be fun. I sort of try to tread a line on the streams, because I think that the like if you're just trying to have the best team you can have for ladder, I think it's pretty clear that the right way to do it is to very deliberately not care about your record for the first 20 or more games, and just random everything until you have a good set of players that you are now paying less than you should have for. And then once you get to whatever that number that feels right, once you get to that, it could be after 20 games, it could be after 30 games, then you start trying to win. The thing is, to do that, like you have to have like a real grinding mindset that to me is just incredibly boring. Some people enjoy it, but I think it's not most people. So I think that's like the ladder min-max correct way to go and do well in ladder, right? For like the teams that I'm playing, and especially on stream where I think watching that sort of thing is really boring, I am just trying to do, like I said, I think lineman we just random, because if you hit a good one you can keep it, maybe even get super lucky and get one that's so-so, and then random the second one that makes it good, like there. And then I think positionals, probably it varies a bit from team to team, but like I say, I think the approach with elves, if you've got a couple up on 3 we had online with like good skills before we started randoming on the other ones, I think that can work. Like I think yeah, I think I'm pretty okay with the way I do it for me, like, because I think it hits the right balance for me now of like having fun with the team, but also making it an enjoyable experience to play and enjoyable to watch as a stream, because that is part of my decision making. I remember last season Andy, who wanted to try the all random orcs and see, because that is the correct way to build a team for ladder, right? Just random, and have an orc team that would have been competitive for Chalice. And I love Andy's streams. I watch Andy's streams all the time, but I think I was definitely one of a few people who found that orc team just became like a bit of a grind to watch, because even just as a streamer, you're like, I'm just seeing the same team forever, and that gets boring even just for those of us watching, let alone for Andy playing it. So I think there's like a balance that's about what's best for playing, and a balance that's about what's fun for the stream, and I'm trying to go somewhere in the middle of those things, I think. On elves, I cannot go for any random on a position where you have max 2 on the max 4s. I can think of doing it. So there's a really interesting discussion with elves, because like for elf positionals, almost all of the random generals are good. So like for this player, or you could say the same thing for a war dancer, there's very few bad skills here. Fend is not amazing, but for 10,000, it can be positionally annoying, especially with sidestep. Pro is not, in my opinion, that great, but for 10,000, it's giving you 2/3 of a reroll on some rolls that you wouldn't otherwise reroll because it's too greedy. Sure hands, you probably want somewhere on the team, and usually it's going to be on a positional. Dauntless, I was saying earlier this stream, I think Dauntless on one elf piece that you use for blitzing is actually really good to have for 10,000. Frenzy, I definitely want one on my teams. Shadowing is not so great, but on elf positionals that are fast, you could make an argument for it. Tackle, wrestle, strip ball, those are all great pieces on most elf positionals. Kick is good to have on one elf positional. There's really only like one skill here that's really bad for most elf positionals, and that's Dirty Player. And even then, on like a wood elf catcher, I could lean into that and give it Sneaky Git, and it's not awful. So like the random general on, say, war dancers, I've heard some people say as like their preferred strategy, just random every skill general on a war dancer. I've heard that from people who play in Fumble's Black Box Trophy, which is like a ladder, but you only play a maximum of 15 games on every team. So I can see it as like a strategy for really quickly getting some skills that are most of the time going to be useful on your most important players. And like, I still have some of the same hesitation you do, where like I just don't want to roll randoms on a player that feels important to me. But I'm being told that by players who win a lot of games. So like it's definitely a viable strategy to go even on the positionals for the general randoms. So like it definitely, like, it can be a good strategy. Penef, sorry, you asked a while ago, if I buy a place positional, can I be sure that I'll be part of next season team, or is there a 3-year waiting list? I think JLev answered you, because JLev has mod access to see these things. Yeah, Jester, that's a completely fair point. Like with war dancers, like if it dies, you can just buy a replacement and it's got blood right away, as long as you've got the cash. Which in Fumble's Black Box Trophy you might not, because it's only 15 games long. But in theory, yes, actually, what JLev says is the strategy that I've heard as well. I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard this from people. You choose sidestep and then you random general the rest. But you see, I almost feel like I'd rather random general first, just in case it's like Dirty Player and you just want to get rid of it on the first one. But the thing is, like, if you even hit Dirty Player, like, it's only 10,000. So say you hit Dirty Player and you hit Strip Ball, you're only doing the same as if you were just paying for Strip Ball, which lots of people would pay for. So it is, I can definitely see the logic behind it. Put it that way. Like, I'm not sure, even me, like, saying this, that I would feel comfortable doing it myself sometimes, but I understand why people say it, and the people who say it are definitely people who know what they're talking about, I guess. I like random your strengths girl to see if they're going to have a new job. So on my off-stream team last season, where I did the ridiculous grind to see if I could make the undercosted wood elf team, I went random strength on the war dancers, and it was basically, if you didn't hit one of the good ones, I would just fire and rehire, because once you've got the team up and running, you just make so much cash in this version of Blood Bowl. So for me, for War Dancers, the ones that I was looking for was Mighty Blow, Guard, Juggernaut, and I think I was thinking Break Tackle I'd probably keep randoming. Maybe the same for Grab. So you had a few outs there, right? Like definitely like 3 good ones. I hit Juggernaut, literally the first skill I got on a War Dancer. I got Juggernaut, so I got off to an amazing start. I did not hit any of Mighty Blow, Guard, Break Tackle, randoming every single time on War Dancers. I just kept cycling. I didn't hit any of those for 50 games. So you can random for a really long time without hitting the good ones. That's just answering Space Cadet's thing. Like, yeah, like I went all the way into that strategy, just like keep randoming. It took 50 games. I got lucky the first one, but it took me 50 games to hit a good one after that. So, but yes, the Juggernaut one was amazing because then I just made Juggernaut Frenzy, which I wanted to do anyway. So, for sure. 100% what you just said, Jester. Like, I try and like talk through all these options because I know people have said to me before, like they find that like helpful and interesting on the stream when we talk through things like that. But I am like the least you must take these skill person ever. I am all for people like doing the skills and the strategies that they find fun. Like a hundo. I am very big on that mindset. And I think that what you see, then you get like some really, really great players like Crystal Hunter, who in Blood Bowl 2 was willing to go against the grain sometimes when people were saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. And Crystal Hunter would like win Chalice with a stand firm gutter runner and stuff like that. Like that there was a real sort of like not only fun in watching him do that because it was so different, but also like a proof that doing what everyone says is the right thing isn't always the right thing. Because it's about how you play as well. Like people, like for one person, Frenzy can be a good skill, and for the next person, it's a terrible skill. Like it really depends on like who you are and like how you play Blood Bowl. On fast teams, randoming journey is not as tedious because you can go all in for the score strats. The thing is with that Astrator, in principle, yes, but also if you're going all in on the scoring strats, sometimes you just don't score and all your elves die. The fast teams do also tend to just die easier. So like in theory, yes, but also no. Space Cadet Frenzy is the best skill. Eliod obviously knows nothing. I've heard Eliod's quite good at the Blood Bowl as well. I've heard. I don't think I've got another game in me right now. I think we're gonna wrap this up. I managed to pad out with some chat there, see my crafty strategies by chatting through some of that stuff. I'm gonna just pad out the end of that YouTube video so it's not quite as short with the concession. But I will say now, if you've hung on for all that chat on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching the games and for hanging out. Do let me know in chat on YouTube if you have any thoughts on that conversation we just had, but also please do hit that like and subscribe.